Welcome to Rise and Grind, my mixed media locked Ironman account. In this series, I'll be grinding both old school RuneScape and the real world and sharing bits about my life in between. Let's get ready to grind. Uh-oh, lads. As I just mentioned in the last clip, I was going to do King's Ransom, and I realized that King's Ransom requires one small favor, which I forgot about, and I've been putting off doing this quest for a long time. I have a lot of teleports and stuff now, so it's not going to be that bad, but I think it's funny that I have never done it still and was kind of procrastinating on doing it. But I finally have to get it out of the way in order to actually do King's Ransom, which King's Ransom itself, I believe, is pretty short, but one small favor is a little bit longer. And this is going to wrap up one small favor. I'll have to look back at the timestamps to see how long that took me total. I wasn't paying attention to when I started this quest. Editor Tyler here. It looks like it took about 45 minutes, which is probably way longer than it should have taken with the amount of teleports and such I have, but it's a bad quest. What can I say? It's all over now. But I believe you get some lamps for completing this. The key ring is a very old school quality of life type of thing. But we get these antique lamps, which I'll throw into Herbalore, of course. 10k XP there. That's level 59. And another 10k XP. So very nice. Now time to move on to whatever the quest is that I actually need. King's Ransom, that's right. On to King's Ransom now. And then Piety. All right, that is King's Ransom complete. Now just onto the Knight's Waves training ground to unlock Piety. One of the painful facts of early game slayers, if you're like me and you decide to get a Konar task for your 10th task, and then Konar sends you to Metal Dragons at the Island of Souls, I could just Turiel skip this, but like even Turiel skipping isn't that easy for me because I don't have like any, I just have a Dragon Scimitar here. So luckily Iron Dragons have an Earth weakness now, so my Earth blasts or bolts that I'm casting right now are doing some damage. And again, I still need 77 magic and I'm at 76 now. So it's okay to do this, but this is a very slow task. Although it will give me a nice influx of starter points being a Konar number 10 task. After inefficiently doing some Slayer, I decided I was in a bit of a questing mood. So I would do the Ascent of Arceus and do a Kingdom Divided. So there's some footage of me doing the bosses from the Kingdom Divided quest line. This has an important unlock in that it allows me to use Thralls. It'll probably be a bit before I do any PVM where Thralls are super useful, but it's a good quest to get out of the way. There's some good XP rewards. And I also wanted to get down the Corrin and Kebos medium diary, so enjoy. I apologize to the devs who worked very hard on this quest, but I did not read a single line of dialogue, and I spacebarred through everything, despite playing RuneScape for 20 years. I don't know if I've ever read any quest text, so I'm sorry for that. That just isn't what I'm here for. But what I am here for is 60 Herbalore, 20,000 Herb XP from that quest. Thank you very much. And now it's time to start the helper on these medium diaries and see what I got to do. All right, I just finished gathering some intelligence, and this is going to wrap up the Corrin and Kebos diary. Now I forget where it said I needed to go, but I think, yeah, that's right here. To upgrade my Rada's Blessing into a Rada's Blessing 2, which does have some teleports to the woodland, and I think if you equip it, it gives you some bonus fish. But most importantly, we got 7,500 Herb XP. Finished the hard clue that I did a Kingdom Divided for. Let's see if it was worth it at all. And really, it was worth it because now I always have the step done, and also I can summon Thralls and all that good stuff. But let's see if the short-term reward was worth it. That is a collection log slot, so I guess maybe it was worth it. Alright, I'm on the couch now. I decided to do some Wintertod real quick just to test out the fletching knife at Wintertod because it does help you get more points. And I was averaging getting, I think, like 3 rewards a game. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I think every game I was getting about 3 rewards. And level 60 fire making. But most importantly, I'm recording now just because I'm going to search all my rewards, and if I get anything, I want it to be recorded. But I'm not expecting anything, just want to get the resources at the bare minimum, not stack up too much at once. And nothing but the usual drops. All right, I just wrapped up my 8-mile run. It's a Sunday morning, and so I'll talk a little bit about probably the clip that you're seeing underneath this, but I decided that today I'm going to finally get Desert Treasure 1 done. This has a couple of motivations behind it. Obviously, one of them, I've been talking a lot about the Mauritania Hard Diaries, so getting that is a requirement for building a house portal to Canifis. So that's a hard diary requirement, needed to get that anyways. The other thing is it's a requirement to fully finish Recipe for Disaster. I believe I have 3 sub-quests remaining. And then for the final quest, you need Desert Treasure as well. And so I want to get that all out of the way, because then I get to buy the Barrows gloves. I can finally stop being a noob wearing my black gloves everywhere, and the Barrows gloves are going to be best in slot for quite a long time. So I'll get that out of the way this morning. Probably it'll take a couple hours, 2 or 3 or maybe 4. Hopefully not that long, but once I have the Barrows gloves, I'm going to go back to doing some Slayer and hopefully hit, I think level 48 is necessary to do the Perilous Moons quest, which gives you 40,000 Slayer XP. So I'm going to try to get to that level and then maybe even do that quest today if I can, to get a huge burst of XP. I think I need like 150k Slayer XP to get level 58 for K4s. And so that's going to be a big, it's like a third of the XP I need. So hopefully underneath this you see me doing all those quests and I didn't get lazy. While on my questing marathon, I decided to also quickly do Slug Menace so that I could upgrade my prayer gear for the future Slayer grinds. After a afternoon spent questing, or I guess a morning spent questing, and then a free afternoon, I decided I didn't really want to do any more quests, and I wanted to make use of my Barrows glove. So I caught some more Moonlight Moths, made some more Moonlight Moth mixes, and then I decided to do my Slayer tasks and do some AFKing activities. All right, and while I was AFK, I did my Slayer task of, let's see, 152 greater demons that took me quite a while to finish, but I did it all while I was on my main monitor playing Slay the Spire 2, and on my side monitor was watching YouTube and just AFKing the greater demons with prayer gear on. So I got some good Slayer XP from this task, and it's all done now, and it brought me up to Slayer level 48, which is the requirement for the Perilous Moons quest, and this gives 40,000 prayer XP. So I'm not 100% sure if the quest version of the Perilous Moons bosses are the same difficulty as the normal ones, and my only weapon is like the the Dragon Scimitar, which is a slash weapon, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go, but I'm going to give the quest a shot, and hopefully I can at least kill all the bosses once to finish the quest. But also, after wrapping up that Slayer task, I needed more AFK stuff to wrap up my Slay the Spire 2 run, and I got 71 mining, which is pretty nice. There's a couple quests that require, making friends with my arm requires 72 mining. That might be the highest mining requirement quest. I'm not exactly sure, but this would be a great quest to be able to actually do because it unlocks another farming patch. So 72 mining will come. 66 fire making will take, an hour or less at Wintertod. 72 mining will take another couple hours here at the Motherlode mine. Also, Motherlode mine's not the most efficient mining thing to do, but I did get the prospector outfit mostly for the collection log slots, but also I'm going to save up another 200 golden nuggets in order to buy both the coal bag and the gem bag. And then I'm not going to come here anymore. I still want to also get the unidentified minerals to get the mining gloves before I do any sandstone mining. So that's going to be coming in the future as well, and likely how I get a bunch of mining levels. But anyways, now it's time to try out the Perilous Moons quest. Also, just a little quest check-in now that I did Recipe for Disaster and a few other quests today. I'm at 134 quests completed. I was thinking of just banging out Fairy Tale Part 2 as well, because I think this is pretty short and I have all the requirements now, and it gives me some herb XP. So I might do this today. I might do it in the near future. Just taking a look through the quests, I'm going to start tackling some of the easier ones a little bit more often so I can get through the list sooner rather than later. Quests like Grim Tales I think I can do, and it gives me some useful XP and that kind of thing. It doesn't take too long. While I was here at the quest start, I noticed I had enough Quetzal feed to build all the remaining spots I was missing. So I built Salvager's Outlook, built the Coliseum one, and now this Camtorum entrance one. So now my nice little bird whistle allows me to teleport to any of these places, which I don't know how useful some of these are, but it looks nice to not have any X's on them. While I was about to start the Perilous Moons quest, I was informed that there was a clan member of mine in the Ironman CC that was about to get 2,000 challenge mode Chamber of Xerix KC. And so they hosted this big mass event to just do like a mega scale raid with everybody. Some people, you can see there's like some people using shadows in here. Basically everyone in this raid is an Ironman. There's a lot of people like me who are literally just suiciding on the Ulm arms and final boss here. But it was a very fun time. I actually got a few CAs from this because you don't actually have to go into some of the boss rooms leading up to the final chamber. I don't know what you call them, but so there's some random Chambers of Xeric combat achievements that I got because of this, which is pretty useful. It's just some free extra points. And also, even more importantly, I think, is the diary rec for the elite Cabosin Corend diary. You need to do Chamber of Xerix run, I believe. And so I got that diary done as well, but enjoy this little bit of me just dying on Ulm over and over again. Once I got into the Moons of Peril again, I did learn that the boss is not any different during the quest. It's the same boss that you would get, that you would fight during the normal actual killing of this boss. There's a couple of these bosses where somebody else was killing it with me. Or I guess you don't really kill it together, but you kill it in the same room together. I don't really know how to describe how that mechanic works, but I have done Moons a couple times on my main account because I was playing that briefly before coming back and making this Ironman. But I haven't actually done them that much, so I'm kind of new to Moons still. I have like 5 KC on my other account. I did learn through this that I just went with the Dragon Scimitar the entire time, and that was actually a CA, so I kind of got a free combat achievement that I wasn't really planning on getting just because the Dragon Scimitar is like the best weapon that I have for stab and slash, and I don't think I have any crush weapons, so I just used the Dragon Scimitar for all of the bosses, and it worked out fine for the most part. They were all pretty easy, with the exception of the Blood Moon, which is like way harder than the other two because it just heals so much, and in my crappy armor, I just like kept getting hit really hard, and then the boss would heal up like 200 HP, and then I would be starting over from scratch again. So there's a couple times I had to bail out and actually come back later and try it again. But eventually I was able to kill all 3 of them and get the quest done. And that wraps up the Perilous Moons quest. Some pretty good XP from this, 40,000 Slayer XP, which brings me to level 52 Slayer. Some important unlocks at level 52, namely Bloodvelds, but also Griffin tasks. The Shellbane Griffin will be something I'm going to try to kill soon, but in the chest, I got some Adelaidal Darts, which is just a collection log slot for now, and also some herbs. And at this point, it was Sunday night. I did a lot of quest grinding and all sorts of stuff, so I decided that I wanted to set myself up with an AFK activity for the week ahead. And that new AFK activity, if you couldn't guess, would be shipwreck salvaging. So in order to get myself to a point where I could actually do some salvaging, I wanted to get some of the temper tantrum trials out of the way and do some sea charting to get my sailing level up and get closer and closer to 53 sailing, which is when you actually start making decent GP through Alkables salvaging. So you're going to see a lot of sailing clips in the future, just with recaps of my AFK time and stuff, because this is way more profitable than the AFK Varlamore thieving method that I have been doing. That's about 100k GP an hour, maybe more if you're not as lazy as I am, but for me, it's about 100k GP an hour. Whereas with salvaging, you can easily make 3, 4, maybe 5 times that at the higher levels. So I want to get that sailing level up so I can start making some serious GP. Thank you so much for watching. A much shorter video today. Interestingly, about the same number of hours played as the last video, except that it was all boring questing stuff. And so I condensed it down into really short snippets because that's most interesting to watch for me at least. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time.